And my daughter, now you got to know this about our daughter. I mean, it was serious because when she ate, I mean, it was bad enough that the dog sat under her chair. When we do our surveys, many times or most of the time, we find these questions asked by management. Why won't they work safe? Why do our workers take shortcuts? And why won't they take responsibility? We hear that all the time. We talk to workers, and the workers say, well, why doesn't management support safety? And why is it all I hear from my supervisors, get it done? And why won't they take responsibility? And we hear this constantly. And it's very interesting that it doesn't matter whether it's in Maine, Texas, California, or Washington State, it happens, or right here in the middle of the country in Nebraska. These are the same questions we see. Now, we've heard that all of our lives. We believe it's from the top executive down to the college intern. We go into companies and they'll say, boy, if we could just get our executives behind safety. And boy, if we could just, and then the executives say, well, if we could just get employees behind safety. And both are right. Would you agree? Both are absolutely right. And it has to take everybody. But when we say everyone is responsible, what we're really saying is everyone plays a part. Would you agree? Everyone plays a part, and it's their part, not necessarily. But what happens is people want to blame somebody else for injuries. Would you agree? And what we're trying to do here is change behavior from unsafe to safe. Would you agree with me? If you behave unsafe, what's probably going to happen? If you behave unsafe, you're probably going to get hurt. Okay. Now, if you behave safely, what's probably going to happen? If you behave safely, not going to get hurt. See, it's not real hard. What drives our behavior are three areas: our needs, our values and beliefs, the way we think and feel. How many of you wear seat belts? Let me see your hands. Okay. How many of you hate seat belts? Let me see your hands. There you go. There's some honest people in the room. Now, my wife hates seat belts. And I, we're safety professionals. You would think that we would just get in and buckle up. Well, I do. Now, she does now. But for years, she wouldn't. I'd get in the car and I'd say, honey, buckle the seat belt. Honey, would you buckle that seat belt? Because I love you and I want you. Honey, I want to be around you. And, we got plans. And I'd appreciate it. And she'd look at me and go, yeah, whatever. She's not buying it. I'm sitting there going, and for the longest time I'd get in, would you buckle your seatbelt? Well, yeah. But we'd be driving down the road, and she'd see a police officer. I'd be driving down the road, and I look over, and I see her reaching over real slow, moving that seatbelt, so they could see the strap. And most of the time, she'd go ahead and snap it then. Because she knows that they will save her life. But they just wasn't meeting her needs. One day I got in the car and I looked over at her, I said, don't put that seatbelt on. She said, what? Don't put that seatbelt on. Because I'm going to go out here and we're going to have a wreck. And I'm going to sling your butt out on that asphalt. I'm going to probably run over you. Somebody else will probably run over and kill you. And me and that blonde going to spend all that money. What do you think she focused on? Yeah, exactly, the blonde. She looked at me. See, a PhD, you don't say the blonde. You could say a blonde, and it'd be different semantics, She says, who's the blonde? So anyway, I was in trouble. But you know what? Now she gets in the car, she looks over at me, and she goes. In other words, you and that blonde ain't spending my money. Yeah.